Bug or this Rug Cascade deck?
Certainly here, I would much rather be Bug.
Yeah, you'd rather have those hymns and stuff, right?
Some thought seizes, yeah, absolutely.
As we do see a ponder here from Adam. Looks like he's happy enough on his 6-card mulligan, so he can show us a deck that, while it is a combination deck looking for 2 cards and a little bit of, cantripping and permission to be able to force this thing through, it does mulligan fairly well.
Yeah, and especially in a matchup like this where he's conscious of, where he's knowledgeable about the deck list, he doesn't really have to play around too much in terms of disruption. He basically has to beat a force of will. That's pretty much the ceiling on the disruption Julio is going to be able to present, and that information is very valuable to have. If you had this matchup in the Swiss, you're not really sure what Julio's up to. Maybe you're playing around spell pierces and dazes that aren't there, but with access to the deck lists, Adam's sort of free to do his thing.
Yeah, it's certainly realistic to play around those cards, those dazes, those spell pierces and stuff, until you see a Cascade card. But Julio could just wait and wait and wait, and not ever cast a Cascade card to kind of scare you a little bit and make you play a much different game than you would normally. As we are going to see a Taiga here, I'm going to follow it up with a Sylvan Library.
That's a singleton Sylvan. Not horrible here.
Well, it's certainly a good start. I mean, he does need to find Force of Will and multiples, probably, to be able to win this game, and Sylvan can help mitigate that. So we're going to see a preordain this go around here for Adam.
Julio with what appears to be a beta tropical island alongside a revised Taiga.
How jealous are you? Scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know. 1?
Tell the truth.
I own 1. It's not a big thing.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah, I do. It's no thing.
Okay. I didn't know I was here with $1 million man, Ted DiBiase. Jeez.
Yeah, you did. Come on. Yeah, you did.
So a Scalding Tarn after that preordain, and just passing it back. So Sylvan Library, gonna let you take a look,
and he
get
found
things
a force
set up. All right, that's step 1.
And an Ancestral as well. I don't know if he has the tools to set up a Cascade this turn off of a Charlotte's Agent, but those are 3 good ones to be looking at right now.
So much value.
Yeah, it's incredible. So much free stuff.
Yeah, just giving it away. He's like a used car salesman. Just giving all the stuff away.
Alright, so it looks like he's taking the 2 blue cards.
It looks like he's gonna take some damage here. Is more than happy to clear off with the Sylvan Library.
Knocking Julio to 15, only relevant because there's the potential. Now Emrakul is just straight lethal.
Yeah. So he is going to tap that Beta Trop. Looks like he's going to suspend the visions here.
Mm-hmm. I think it's fairly optimistic to imagine this game goes on for 4 more turns. To me, I would identify that card much more as just straight Force of Will misdirection fodder.
Sure. Just a blue card to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Here's a clock too. So, if Adam has some trouble messing around here, Julio can steal this one, because I think he's certainly a dog game 1.
Yep. Oh, no question. And Adam having a lot of time to assemble a hand here. All these ponders and preordains seem pretty innocuous, but Adam getting a lot of time and a lot of selection to set up the hand that he wants.
Yeah, the one thing about Julio's deck, I can certainly see where he has his success over the course of the weekend. Maybe playing against your Abrupt Decay decks, your Juns, your Bugs of the world. May have faded combo decks over the course of the weekend. Maybe gotten lucky against the combo decks. You can just see that he doesn't put up the best clock. Force of Will can only hold off a combo deck for so long. As you said at the top, this deck wouldn't be playable if it was just folded to 1 Force of Will.
Right. This is not Belcher or Storm. This deck is...
Don't you talk about Belcher like that.
Definitely able to play against a single Force of Will.
I can't believe you would talk about Belcher like that.
It is not good against the card Force of Will. Otherwise, it would just be the best deck to play by far, because it wins on turn 1 very reliably.
If I wanted the truth, I'd go to my therapist.
Fair
I don't
enough.
want it free right now.
Goes and gets a Volcanic. Are there any wasteland? Yeah, 4 wastelands. All right.
Oof, okay.
That was the cause for pause, I think. Well, Adam was thinking about what he wanted to fetch for.
I see 1 forest in Julio's deck list. I'm checking the basics over here in Adams because normally a Sneak and Show deck list have a handful of basics. He's got 3 islands. Does he have a mountain? He does have a mountain too. A little surprised by the non-basic.
A little bit.
Yeah. City of Traders, though? Not mind to be too surprised anymore. Is it show and tell time? Is it time to go to class?
We're already. Let's see what we got here.
I think it's time to go to class. All right.
So I believe this is definitely going to necessitate a force of will pitching this direction.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Can't let this stuff happen. Adam may have even went for it there, thinking he only has full force of will's permission. What are the chances that he has one?
Yep.
Which I think is completely reasonable.
And again, you're happy, getting some of it out of the way. You have to slog through it at some point.
Yep. Especially when the library's out there too. It makes you want to do it a little bit faster than get set up. So show and tell is going to get countered here.
Okay.
And we don't have a good look at Adam's hand, but he could just have multiple show and tells, multiple sneak attacks, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where he's certainly happy to get this part out of the way. As Tarmogo's going to grow to a 3/4 right now.
All right, so we're going to Sylvan. See if we can find another force of will plus a blue card. Looks like 3 lands on top, but I think that he has a Blood Braid in hand to clear out everything.
Alright, so there is a volcanic island. And yep, it is going to be Blood Braid time, so this is a pretty healthy clock, honestly.
Here you go.
3/2.
Got a lot of pressure.
Clear by those lands. Deathrite Shaman.
Wah. Not quite what we were looking for there. In fairness, he doesn't have a lot of awesome hits here.
Yeah.
In terms of actually being able to play back against any of Adam's powerful cards here, he has very little flip over. Basically, Ancestral into Force plus blue card is what he's looking for. Everything else is sort of 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah. So Adam's going to draw a card here. If he does end up taking 6 here, I think he's going to push himself down to 13. So that's 2 mana. That's 3. I think it's show and tell number 2 time, Patrick.
Yep.
So,
right.
Show you yours. You show me mine. I have a sneak attack.
I assume this is going to be Emrakul now.
Yeah. Sometimes you do see this. This is one of the fun things about this deck. You see him put a sneak attack in off a show and tell, and there's a
Gristlebrand. Okay. I mean, this is still. Oh, we're.
So he has a Simian Spirit Guide, so now he's going to put Emrakul in as well. And here come the doofuses, and that is going to be it. So Adam Jansen is going to be up a game here over Julio.
Adam had me at Emrakul, but I guess we want to get the Gristlebrand out there too.
That's right.
The tag team.
Yeah, show them tag team champions of the world.
Yeah.
Those two. So we're going to cut back to the booth here because it is trivia time. Very simple game, of course. I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to hashtag your answer on Twitter with hashtag SCG Premium.
Now, again, these trivia questions, just like the ones we had yesterday, all related to Grand Prix Miami.
Yeah.
Star City Games is going to be running that event at the end of June. We released a promo video this weekend that we've been playing a couple times. So if you don't have any of this information at the tip of your fingers, you can go check out that video and find all the answers.
And the video and all the information is at magicgp.com. Your question for 3 months of premium, again, hashtag the answer SCG Premium, is how many Magic artists will be in attendance at GP Miami? So again, how many Magic artists will be there in attendance at GP Miami? You know the answer to that question? Send the answer with the hashtag SCG Premium over to Twitter, and we will select one of the people who does get the answer correct. Again, it is about accuracy, not speed, and we will announce the winner after this round for you guys. So there you go. That's a light one.
Yeah, the last one, again, just like the 12-monther yesterday, is actually challenging.
Yeah, they get progressively more difficult as we go, just so that you guys know.
Yeah.
But we're going to check out our sideboard series. We're going to take a look at Julio's first all value all the time. Submerge, quite the value card. Not going to see much use here.
And this is another issue, is he really actually has very little value in his sideboard here as well.
The thing is, you can only do so much, right, when you're cascading.
Yeah.
Because you can't play a card like Spell Pierce, like a Daze, like a Flusterstorm, like a Negate. Those are not options when you have Shardless, Agent, and Bloodbraid Elf in your deck.
Yep, and the way that the bug decks are able to mitigate this, obviously, Thoughtseize and him, very good disruptive elements, awesome to cascade into. The rug build of this deck doesn't have the same tools afforded to it. So he has a sideboard of Surgical Extraction, Ancient Grudge, Grim Lavamancer, Pyrostatic Pillar, a single Maelstrom Pulse, and 4 Submerges. Basically, he has 1 Maelstrom Pulse that he could bring in the scenario where Adam taps out for Sneak Attack.
Yep.
Can be good there. He has 3 Surgical Extractions, which can just be randomly disruptive and probably just better than cards like Punching Fire, for example, because there is a chance you get lucky. I mean, that's the thing. You can Force a Will, Show and Tell. You might be able to extract them. That could be a real thing.
Yeah.
Not likely, but it gives you another long ball way to maybe steal some games.
Yep.
The rest of his sideboard, not really relevant here. He may want to bring in Pyrostatic Pillar because the Sneak and Show deck spends a lot of time cantripping, but it's not a Storm deck. Pyrostatic Pillar isn't an ace here. Again, it might be better than some of his more anti-creature / value cards, but it's not going to be a card that dramatically changes the matchup.
Looking at Adam's sideboard, you guys can see it on the screen. 3 defense grid, a Relic of Progenitus, Flusterstorm, Hydroblast, 2 Red Elemental Blasts, a Stifle, a Submerge, a Surgical Extraction, 2 Through the Breach, 1 Wipe Away, and 1 Caracas. So that is the sideboard here for him. Again, I think he knows that he's in a good matchup right now. He probably doesn't want to dilute his deck all that much. So I'm trying to look at cards that he would be more than happy to sideboard out. I mean, Intuition is like a little bit slow, but at the same time, it guarantees him a way to go off.
I'm not touching anything that offers consistency
Okay.
against Julio's deck. The way that things can go bad here is if you just kind of don't draw the components. Anything, even something slow, that enables you to find the pieces you're missing, I would not touch.
How do you feel about Misdirection staying in here? Because I think keeping Force of Will in is probably okay. I guess the bigger question is, what would he want to sideboard in either? I don't think he needs to dilute his deck very much. I mean, Red Elemental Blast to be able to fight against just Force of Will, because that's the only card that he needs to fight against.
Yeah, I guess a Red Blast. I don't mind a Submerge, although it's worth noting, you know, it's not great against Shardless Agent or Bloodbraid Elf for obvious reasons. So maybe 1 Submerge, and that's all we're really looking at if I'm in his position.
So I don't expect a lot of changes from Adam's side, and Julio I don't expect a lot of changes either, because there isn't really a lot for him to change.
Yeah.
I think if he could change things, he would, because you're going to see Adam go down to at least 6 cards here, but there just simply isn't very much to change.
Yeah, and it's noteworthy. I mean, to our points here, Julio and Adam, this is about the fastest I've seen 2 people sideboard and present in a top 8 match in all the time I've done commentary. There's just not a lot for either of them to change in their respective decks.
And not only that, I mean, a lot of time, especially when you see these sideboards with a lot of 1-ofs and 2-ofs like you do see for Adam, this is the fastest I've seen anyone sideboard in Legacy.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of moving parts in both the sideboard and the main deck, and you just saw both players just go, nope, not much is changing here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I got a good matchup, Julio's thinking, I got a bad matchup, probably got to get pretty lucky, and let's just go back to battle.
All right. Sometimes there is just not much to be done. I think if you were to ask Julio what he thought of his matchup going in, I think he would probably tell you it's pretty bad. I mean,
Yeah.
You can tell he's kind of got that smirk on his face of I'm just kind of under the gun here, and hopefully Adam mulligans to 2 straight games and I steal this, but it is not looking good.
So as we do get other results coming in for you guys, we will certainly let you know how the rest of the top 8 is doing as we do progress here. And we actually have one. Jason, where are you, bracket sheet?
He's our bug player playing against Jeff.
Okay, so Jason Schneck is actually up a game here. In a matchup that I agreed with you. I thought it did favor 4-color Loam a little bit.
And in Broke Surf, he was on the draw as well.
Yeah, so that's certainly important moving forward for the rest of that match. So Jason Schneck up a game there with Bug Delver against Jeff Hoogland's 4-color Loam deck. As you do see Deathrite Shaman here start off, Wasteland and a Tropical Island there for Julio as well.
If I'm not mistaken, it appears that Submerge is in Julio's hand.
Hey, you gotta get lucky, you gotta get lucky.
That is, I mean, maybe he's just trying to increase the number of blue cards in his deck. That could be a thing.
Yeah.
But if you think you're putting Gristlebrand on top of the deck, you are. That is ambitious.
When your back's against the wall,
Yeah.
try just about anything. Here
And
comes Deathrite Shaman.
ambitious. Adam again on his second mulligan of the match here. Went to 6 in game 1, comfortably won. Going to 6 again.
Not doing much of a problem then. You see Adam shuffling through his hand.
The Wasteland in play for Julio obviously has to give Adam pause here. And Sneak and Show, for as little mana as it needs and other sources of mana it has access to, is actually weirdly soft to Wasteland at times.
Yeah, some of the draws line up in such a way that Wasteland is just a beating. They go for their kill, you counter it, then you Wasteland them, and then they're really stuck a lot of the time.
Yeah, another common scenario is that they had to just cast Sneak Attack for 4 mana with only Volcanic Island 2 mana land in play, and you can keep them off of red. This is also not an infrequent thing that can occur. So, not that Wasteland is especially good, but it is of greater than 0 value.
He does Jansen, he does have 19 lands in his deck to go along with 4 Lotus Petals and 2 Simian Spirit Guides to provide a momentary burst. So that's actually a lot more than I think you typically see. You normally don't see 2 Spirit Guides. That's not the industry standard.
Yep.
4 Lotus Petals, are at this point, along with 5 double lands.
Yeah, Adam's deck is a little more dedicated to just trying to go off as fast as possible, which I would suspect gave him an edge in his match against William Jansen.
Yep.
William's deck is a little more about sustainability and fighting through disruption. Adam's is just a little bit faster, and in the mirror match I would probably want to err on the side of the deck that's a bit faster.
So there's your Brainstorm, that's good to go. Does have the fetch land there as well, but not ready to crack just yet, as he's going to pass back to Julio. Julio does draw a Forest for the turn.
Trying to get a good look at Julio's hand here. I believe there's a Lightning Bolt, a Sylvan Library, a Brainstorm, and a Submerge.
Yep. So not the best hand we've ever seen, but there is manipulation available.
I mean, and he can Brainstorm into Force potentially, which is...
But I think, what we're going to see here is Adam, I know, that Julio only has 4 Force of Wills to stop you. So I think he just goes for it as soon as he has it.
Yep.
And just every time. And dares Julio to have a Force of Will plus a blue card. I think that's completely reasonable, given that he's working with perfect information as far as the deck list is concerned. No tricks to be had here.
Especially since he's not under that much pressure. I mean, he's probably looking at a 3-turn clock here, roughly. He's got time to just sort of brute force his way through whatever disruption Julio is able to present. He doesn't have to get fancy and try to do everything in one turn. He can just fire off a show and tell. If that doesn't stick, fire off another one the next turn. The same sort of thing we saw in the first game.
And so we're going to see a Sylvan Library. Adam is going to sacrifice that Scalding Tarn. See him searching out a Volcanic Island in the face of a tapped Wasteland. So to me, that signals green lights on.
We're going for it.
Yeah. In the face of a Wasteland, you're allowing yourself to have your land killed. Not scared at all. So
that means we're saying, Julio, you're not getting another turn.
Yeah. Or if you do,
it's not going to matter.
Yeah. There's going to be a 15-15 or a 7-7 with lifelink in play. All right, so a Brainstorm here on Julio's upkeep. All right. Or excuse me, on Adam's upkeep.
Bloodbraid, another Submerge, and
a
Charlotte's Agent.
So most importantly, if you're Adam, not a Force of Will, even though he doesn't know that. Quick update for you guys as well here. David Barber Callahan is going to be up a game right now. He is against Jason Tripp. So Bug Delver up a game against Dream Halls. And then Daniel Novak, as we assumed it would be, up a game against Benjamin Lundquist.
Yep.
Blackhawks up a game against Murphy.
So Julio next turn can actually set up a fairly powerful cascade. He had both Bloodbraid Elf and Charlotte's Agent on top, so he can actually start doing some of the chaining that his deck likes to do, which is Bloodbraid into Charlotte's Agent into X. The big question now, of course, is he even going to be able to get that opportunity? And fetching the fetching Volcanic Island, playing a City of Traders is an indication that Adam's pushing this turn. And Julio, I do not believe, has much of a way to break it up.
So here is a Sneak Attack. That is a Lotus Petal. That means red man is here. So is it going to be Emrakul or is it going to be Gristlebrand? That's probably what Julio's thinking right now. Am I going to have permanence or not?
Activates, puts in
Gristlebrand. There's draw 7.
So he's going for it this turn. And with Lotus Petal and Simian Spear Guide in the deck, it's pretty reasonable after drawing 14 that he has a shot of finding red mana plus Emrakul.
Yep. I think it is more than reasonable to try to go for it this turn.
He may want to play a little conservatively because if he misses, he just dies on the way back. So he may want to go to 16 and just, or 15 rather, and just try to kill him the following turn. If he finds it in his top 7, that's great, but he doesn't need to push.
Yeah, doesn't have to go for it here.
The only reason that would have to happen is if he didn't have backup red mana, although he has a Lotus Petal in his hand.
He just might not have the Emrakul.
Sure.
That's all. Which he does have 4 copies of in his deck versus 3 copies of Gristlebrand. So I think he's just weighing the ramifications of what happens if I miss.
Well, once you have Lotus Petal, the only reason to be concerned here if you're Adam is if you don't have red mana for next turn, so the Wasteland potentially calls your sneak attack. I think pushing here is potentially a mistake if you go for another 7.
He's going to play the Lotus Petal. See him moving around some cards here.
Yeah, I think he's just going to move into combat.
Yep, not going to go for it because if he misses, it just goes so much worse.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this. You know, Julio didn't fight. He brainstormed and didn't fight over your sneak attack. It means not only is there no force of will plus blue card in his hand, there's none forthcoming. You can afford to be a little bit conservative and just go for it next turn.
So Gristlebrand comes across for 7, going to knock Julio down to 13, Adam back up to 15. I guess does he activate here, or does he just stay at 15 and move on with life?
It just depends on what's going on in his hand.
Yeah. You see him sliding cards around now. Wants to make sure that his hand is perfectly sculpted for next turn. Gonna let sneak attack. This ability clear here. There's a mountain. So yeah, he's gonna make sure that everything is kosher here before he does let that happen. So here's Deathrite Shaman. Looks like Deathrite Shaman wants to help with a lightning bolt. Put Adam down to 12. So now Gristlebrand's going to get sacrificed due to sneak attacks. And then 2 lands get discarded in Ancient Tomb and Mountain. You know, Adam's sitting here with 7 cards, prepared to try to go off again next turn. Searching for Emrakul, or I mean, the second Gristlebrand will work as well.
Yep.
So Julio untaps. It's Sylvan Library time. 2 and 3. Momentarily. There it is.
So we're looking at Bloodbraid, Charlotte's Agent, Bloodbraid. So he gets to go, if he wants to, Bloodbraid into Charlotte's Agent into X.
Yeah.
Or he can just draw Charlotte's Agent and just Charlotte's Agent into new stuff and leave his Deathrite up for 1 mana, but might as well add the maximum amount of pressure.
I'm inclined to agree with you there. And by putting him down to, if he does play Bloodbraid, you know, activates the Deathrite Shaman, taps the 3 mana, plays Bloodbraid Elf, cascades in the Charlotte's Agent, cascades again, whatever. Attacks for 6 across, puts Adam down to 6, makes it that he can't activate Gristlebrand. That's the start he has, and I think getting him to 7 or below is certainly of some relevance here.
Yeah, we can again safely assume there's no Emrakul because that would have just killed Julio last turn.
So here's your Bloodbraid Elf.
So Bloodbraid is going to find Charlotte's Agent.
See him make space for Shardless.
Charlotte's Agent.
Cascading on down. It's been a while since I've seen this happen. The days of Bituminous Blast and Bloodbraid Elf are over. Thank goodness.
So Bloodbraid is still technically on the stack at this point. So
correct. Now it's gonna be a Brainstorm.
If Adam has access to Force of Will, he can actually force any of these spells basically as they come up through the cascade.
So now Brainstorm is going to show you a Bloodbraid Elf with Tarmogoyf and a second Tarmogoyf. So
still no disruption here.
None. Most importantly, no way to get that sneak attack off the board either. So the coast is clear here for Adam to do what he's got to do next turn, and you You would like to assume that he's going to be able to find the pieces to cobble together to finish it off, but
Yep.
again,
And this is a place where the one random Maelstrom pulse actually would have been good. This sort of spot actually does happen to sneak and show a reasonable amount of time, where sneak attack is just kind of exposed. If you can blow it up, it's a huge setback.
Yep. So it puts cards back with Brainstorm. Bloodbraid and Tarmogoyf are probably going to do battle in just a moment here. Yep, so 6 across.
I'm actually not sure that Goyf is properly labeled because we have creature, artifact, instant, land.
Yep, and they got it. They got it
Yep.
for you. So down to 5 we go.
So let's see if Adam can finish the deal here. Again, no disruption he's playing against. It's just his Emrakul. That's great.
Griselbrand, it's fine.
Yeah, he still could die on the way back.
Yeah, that's the thing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, but a Bloodbraid would do it.
Yeah, and
4, 5,
there
6,
is a Bloodbraid in his.
Mm-hmm.
He has access to a Bloodbraid.
All right, Adam, you actually, oddly enough, have to find it this turn. And it actually has to be Emrakul.
Yeah.
That's what it's got to be. So, spaghetti legs. Can I find you via Ponder? 2, 3. He hides them from us very well.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an Emrakul.
I don't think we would be double checking the hand.
Mm-mm.
At least that is a party foul.
Yeah. Don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy. I guess I'll kill you.
Really? Yeah, shuffle as I thought what we were going to see.
Yeah. To me, that feels like quickly put on top or shuffle.
Yeah. So let's see what the mystery card is. Is it the Spaghetti Man? Mystery card is... I don't think it's Emrakul. This is another blue mana being tapped. Maybe this is more cantripping?
He has moved a Brainstorm all the way over to the side of his hand.
And
Okay.
so there's a Brainstorm. 3 cards deeper. Julio can do nothing but sit and hope.
It's pretty slow sequencing from Adam here, so I think any of the obvious... He does not have access to any of his obvious kills.
One thing I'm interested to find out too here is, let's say that he does have a Griselbrand, it's not lethal on the attack. Is it going to be time for a defensive Griselbrand, which actually does quite a bit here?
I mean, there is some risk in allowing Julio to go to untap, because of Deathrite Shaman, you're actually still just dead to Lightning Bolt, although I guess Julio does not have red mana outside of his Deathrite, so... There's a bit of a risk in trying the defensive one. It might be better still.
Right, so Brainstorm puts some cards back.
You know, it would be insane, though, if he goes for a defensive Griselbrand. Hard cast Submerge.
Yes, that would be positively ridiculous. I agree. Lotus Petal resolves here for Adam. You see Adam counting. Wondering what's the worst that can happen. It looks like he wants to play a land now. Considering the ramifications of what happens if the City of Traders dies.
Two colors floating.
What's he up to? That's the question.
Maybe it's just a shuffle and another cantrip.
Yeah, that's the big question. What's he up to here? So he's going to play a Scalding Tarn. City Traders is going to die. 2 mana floating here. Adam probably trying to figure out, is there a difference between 4 or 5 life right now? You see a show and tell in his hand.
Searches.
Gets a Volcanic Island. Goes down to 4.
Again, still 2 colors floating in the pool.
Alright, so
Is this intuition?
this could just be show and tell. So yeah. So he's
Okay.
gonna-
All right. I
so
thought
he's
he
gonna put that
because
in
he had the
play.
2 colors floating.
Yeah. And so it's going to be a Gristlebrand that's putting off the sneak attack. So Gristlebrand going to attack here. So the 2 colorless is no longer there. That's out of your pool. Gristlebrand coming on in, 11-2. Gristlebrand dies. That means he's passing. I guess this sets him up for next turn if he doesn't die to kill him with Gristlebrand the following turn. So
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. All right, so Julio untaps, breathes a rather deep sigh of relief, as we do have a quick update for you guys very quickly. David Barber Callahan, our 4 seed, defeats Jason Tripp, Bug Delver, moving on to the semifinals. We'll be playing the winner of this match, actually. So congratulations to David Barber Callahan with his Bug Delver deck.
Summon Library resolves. What are the foothills for Julio?
Could we see a submerge?
We might see Submerge here.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
The thing is, he has lethal on board right now, assuming
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, blood. Yeah.
if
As long as he has black mana in his deck.
yeah, well, he has Wooded Foothills. He has a Bayou.
Okay, yeah, so he does, yeah. So we're looking at attack for 4, plus 3 from the Bloodbraid, plus 2. That's 9. Then 2 from the Deathright Charm activation makes it 11.
He might be just contemplating just snapping off his Bloodbraid here, though.
Yeah, the tricky part here, if you're Julio, is because there could just be another Gristlebrand looming there from Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So he activates the sneak attack, goes to block, eats a Tarmogoyf. So there's your red mana. I mean, this could also be a Simian Spirit Guide, oddly enough. Okay.
Red Elemental Blast on the Charlotte's Agent. That's going to be good enough to stave off lethal here.
Yep. That messes up everything for Julio.
And now any one of Adam's big creatures is good enough to take it. Well, again, Gristlebrand, I guess, is still submergible in this world.
Oddly enough, it is.
Yeah.
So he's going to take 7. Going to go down to
Okay.
4. So Gristlebrand's work is basically undone. For Julio, do not tap out.
Oh, that submerge is going to be good here.
You brought in for a reason. It's going to be good.
It's here. It's here right now. Let it go. Let it go.
Boy, he is reaching. He is reaching. See if he can identify the situation here. It's tough to do.
All right, he's saying go.
All right,
I
passes
like
the
it.
turn.
Big fan.
Emerald Cruel bust now. If you're Adam Jansen.
I mean, I guess he can still force him to go back.
Yeah.
Maybe he might have that.
So he's
After
going to
the ring.
sacrifice the fetch land right now. We'll bring Submerge up on the screen for you guys so you can see that Nemesis uncommon, I believe it is.
Yep.
Typically free, 5 mana for this, not often paid, but right now it is.
Typically free, or at least has the potential to be free in a matchup.
Yeah, this is not one of those places where that can happen, but desperate times call for desperate measures.
Okay. Julio won.
Blue or red? Red. Emerald. Annihilator. Semifinals. Adam Jansen.
Yep. Do not believe.
Oh, you cannot submerge me.
Nope.
You're going to try to drown that thing in water? Good luck.
It's floating.
I saw Battleship. That can't happen.
It's floating in outer space.
Yeah.
So it's unlikely to occur.
All right, someone made me see Battleship. I didn't see it willingly.
You definitely paid full retail for that ticket.
All $38, however much Regal charges.
All right. Tapping.
I just don't think. I don't think he knows that he can't submerge this.
Yep.
Yeah. That. It has a lot of text, so I would understand the confusion, but that cannot happen.
Yeah.
So
There
there it is. So Adam Jansen is going to win the match 2-0. He will be moving on to the semifinals to play against David Barber Callahan and his Bug Delver deck.
A surprisingly dramatic
Kind of
second game, yeah.